High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Rose Hill Gymnasium is the venue. It is the CHSAA AA Semifinals. 2 teams looking to book their spot in the final for the first time in a really long time. It's Nazareth and it's St. Ray's. This CHSAA AA Semifinal is brought to you by Maspeth Federal Savings. Well, good evening, everyone, or I guess late afternoon, if you will. Dylan Butler alongside John Perez will bring you through the journey of these 2 games, and sometime probably close to 10 o'clock tonight, we'll know who will play in Sunday's championship game. And this is an interesting one because you've got 2 teams who've not been to that Sunday afternoon here at Fordham in quite a while. For Nazareth, you have to go back to 1977. Now, of course, they've not been a AA team for a very long time. They were a force in the lower levels in the Catholic League. But listen, Gary Irvin's got his guys trying to do something magical today and perhaps Sunday. And St. Ray's has such a rich tradition of history, of excellence, and they're trying to get back to where they've been so many times before.
100%. And for George Lopez, this was the year that he's been waiting for over the last 10 months since the end of the playoffs last year. He knew that he had a young core that had this potential, took the most losses in his coaching history. And with that said, it was really like parlaying it for the future. And now they're 32 minutes away from getting to the final. So that's number 1. On the Nazareth side of things, you're right, Dylan. Very good team in the 70s if you're going to go on the AA spectrum, but just over the last 4 years, what Gary Irvin's been able to do, one of the top teams in the A, it's just a matter of Nazareth winning the big game, and you don't win the big game if you don't get to it, and that's where they are right now. Remember where they were a year ago, staring at an undefeated season over the last 2 years, those big-time games, couldn't get it done, but now they've got the chip on their shoulder, looking to overcome it.
Let's take a look at the bracket and see how these teams got here to Rose Hill, and they were both here just the other day on Sunday, a busy Sunday. And for St. Raymond's, they had a slow start against Iona, and then they kind of got their legs underneath them. They played some solid defense, got going offensively, and they ended up kind of cruising in that one. And then nothing like a cruise for Nazareth. That is for sure. A big third quarter for the Kingsmen, but only scoring 2 points in the fourth quarter. But listen, in March, what do? You survive and you advance. And that's exactly what Gary Irvin's guys have done. Well, let's bring you some of those highlights, John, if you will. And it starts with this one. This one was a three-point shooting contest, especially early. There you see Halon Rawlings getting out, knocking down the triple, and then Naz got out running. And they ended up with a huge third quarter, which got them, it seemed to be a sizable advantage. But look, Here comes Dwayne Mitchell's-Scanlon coming back. That basket you saw there, that was the only one scored by Nazareth in the fourth quarter. And Naz wins this one. And what a start it was for Iona. Dylan Callahan owning the first quarter, and the Gales made an early statement, but then Ty Turnage, what a ball game he had, knocking down the triple for the Ravens. And then the mayor of Castle Hill got involved. Anderson Diaz with the triple, with the flush. You see all the Mr. Diaz sweatshirts over there, and St. Ray's books their spot into the semifinals. And there we see the Kingsmen getting ready in this one. And as you said, it's been quite a journey for these guys. And their head coach, Gary Irvin, said, listen, there is no pressure on your shoulders. There was a thought amongst the team like, hey, coach, we were in the championship game last year. It's like, well, no, you were in a championship, but you weren't in the AA. And he still continues to contest that nobody expected his team outside of those in his locker room and within his core to be here. Yet here they are, the Kingsmen, a team that's filled with athleticism and certainly some future Division I talent as well.
100%, and we'll take a look at two of those guys in a second, but I think ignorance is bliss when it comes to Nazareth. Hey, they don't know what they don't know, and because of that, they're 32 minutes away from getting to the title game. For them, it doesn't matter if they're playing in the AA, A, B, or even any other level. This is a team that has a championship mindset, looking to finish what they couldn't do last year, and that's a good attitude to have, especially Gary Irvin. He'll tell us that it's a successful year up until this point. He's happy with the progress, but he wants to win. So it feels like he's hedging on the outside, but everyone in that locker room knows the mission at hand is to get to that title game.
20-7 on the season. And what Nazareth did also is they handed St. Raymond's only one of two losses at the Ravens' Nest this year. Stepanak was the other one to go to St. Ray's and win. So if Nazareth are to win here at Rose Hill, who are the guys that will likely lead them there? It's guys who have been there through 27 contests. Halon Rollins on the left and Tyler Francis on the right.
How about Rollins? I mean, he put on a slam fest the other day for the Kingsmen, and as they were jumping out of the gym the first three quarters, in the fourth quarter was just making sure you survive the bumpy landing. But Rollins does so much. 6'6" junior, a lot of size, the leading scorer as well, and then you got Tyler Francis, senior, someone who's getting offers from Siena, Manhattan, Holy Cross, a young man that continues to get better and better as the year goes on.
Tyler Francis turned into Mariano Rivera because it was his basket in the fourth quarter that saved his team from what would have been an absolute disastrous defeat after having such a big lead in the third quarter. So those are the Kingsmen, and we look now at the Ravens. And as you alluded to in the open, this man right there, Ty Turnage and Brandon Storrs, they've been the faces of the franchise these last couple years, and they were the kind of the shining light. Like, we're going to follow these guys, and we're going to win some basketball games, and they have done that. But the reason that they're here is not because of Ty Turnage and Brandon Storrs alone. It's because of other guys who have stepped up throughout this run.
Yeah, and that's what you need to win a championship, is those guys that aren't listed as one or two on your roster. And particularly, hey, why not have a freshman turn it up, as we've seen with Mr. Anderson Diaz, who's been playing like one of the best Ravens over the last few weeks. It's interesting when they win the Archdiocesan, they get it from four separate players, but Diaz throwing it down. He's having a coming out party. Gary Irvin doesn't see him as a freshman. George Lopez puts a lot on his shoulders, and we'll see the responsibility tonight.
That said, in a semifinal game with a trip to the championship, we take a look at our impact players, and they are Brandon Storrs and Ty Turnage. Brandon Storrs will detail this as we go along. What a 2-week span it has been for him. Last game became St. Raymond's all-time leading scorer in Ty Turnage. Look at those numbers, John. In the quarterfinal win, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. That's the way to lead your team. We'll take a look at the keys to this one as we get set for the start of this one. And we spoke with both head coaches, and tempo being a big theme.
Tempo is huge, especially for Nazareth. Make the others beat us. I don't know if that's a good recipe for success, because if Anderson Diaz as well as Kamari White are having days, it's going to be a long day for the Kingsmen. But either way, rebound at a high rate, that's just universal. For St. Ray's, you got to match the intensity and physicality, because you know that Nazareth can jump out of the gym. They want to rebound as well and contest the three-point shooters, because when Nazareth's in a groove, they're very tough to stop.
It's Nazareth at St. Ray's. Starting lineups, opening tip when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
We welcome you back to Rose Hill Gymnasium. Dylan Butler, John Perez, our entire Varsity Media crew for the first of two semifinals. First up, Nazareth and St. Raymond's, followed at about 8 o'clock by Stepanak and St. Francis Prep. Maybe not the Final Four, John, that you might have predicted at the start of the season, but I don't think there's any doubt you've got the four best teams right now in the league. And listen, you've also got four teams who have won 20 or more games this year. I mean, that means that there's no Cinderellas, there's no cupcakes. These are your legit contenders.
Yeah, it's been, as the kids say, all chalk so far. And you're right, and they've all played like champions at spurts this year. Obviously, only two teams can win, either the Brooklyn Queens or the Archdiocesan in New York AA. But they're all playing at a championship level. We saw it on full display Sunday, and can't wait to see it today. And you're right, these teams deserving to be in this game.
Unchanged starting five for Nazareth. And Gary Irvin's like, why would I change it? Because it's worked. And of course, we mentioned Rollins, but also you've got a terrific senior point guard in Tristan Rogers, and then all kinds of explosive athleticism with Jennings and Witter as well. Another guy who can really shoot the three ball.
Yeah, Elijah Witter's good in space. He can create his own shot, but look for Nazareth to get him going early. If you expand it from the outside, you can attack the interior. I think it's two pretty evenly matched teams in terms of size, and we'll see how they combat it.
Good look there at Gary Irvin, fourth year as Nazareth head coach, a 2002 graduate of Robeson, a terrific floor general back in his day. Let's take a look at the starters now for St. Ray's, and also an unchanged starting lineup from their quarterfinal win. We mentioned Turnage and Stores, of course. Diaz, a breakout performance, his breakout performance in the Archdiocese, and followed it up with a big performance. And then again, Kamari White could shoot it, could score in bunches. Cherry too. when Gary Irvin says, let the others beat you, I don't think it's any of these 5. I think it's somebody on the bench that he's looking for his team because these guys have really, like, you were a cherry point away from all 5 of those guys in double figures the other night.
No, 100%. And, Cherry, he's averaging 8.2 points per game. And there we found George Lopez. And the biggest storyline, obviously, Dylan, in our production meeting with him was he going to wear the same fit as the other day? Looks like he is. And, hey, if he's not going to change the starting lineup, don't change the outfit. George Lopez looking to do something that hasn't been done at St. Ray's in a little over a decade, right? And can't change it now.
He's not done it as the head coach. He was on Oliver Antigua's staff in 2012, the team that last made it to the finals, and that was the one that last won the championship as well. Our referees for today's game, it's Joe Hermisione, Phil Zaccaro, and Anthony Calise. Crowd still filing in on really a miserable day outside. 6 o'clock too on a rush hour day is a little bit difficult to get to St. Ray's, or from St. Ray's or even from Nazareth to get here. As opening tip goes to the Ravens, and Turnage right away from 3, front rim, no good, and Naz comes away with the rebound.
See the different defensive looks by St. Ray's early on, now in a 2-3 zone early on there. And we'll see, a lot of teams have trouble up against the zone, and the Ravens, with good wingspan, will make it tough in those passing lanes and shooters.
And Nazareth was one of those teams. When we showed you only the 2 points that they scored, as there's a triple. First bucket by Witter, as we said, can really light it up from outside. But they faced the zone in that 4th quarter, and they were outscored 14-2, nearly losing a big lead and losing the quarterfinal game. A lot of it was as a result of that zone, attacking the glass, finger roll not happening by Diaz, and we go the other way.
Love the confidence by Diaz early on, though. Same thing with Turnage. Go and let it fire. You are the defending archdiocese champs. Do what got you here. Take those open looks and really force the agenda. And there are times where Nazareth, they can't score, and they'll go in those spells, so you want to push them against the wall early on.
Witter feeds it to the foul line to Rollins, fires one down low, looking for Francis, and they'll kick it back out. Cross-court pass to Witter. 9 on the shot clock. Open 3 from right in front of the St. Ray's bench, and Joseph Jennings knocks down the Kingsmen's 2nd triple of this 1st quarter.
What a year it's been for him. He's come back stronger. He's more athletic than a year ago, and defensively does so well, but gets it done on the offensive side early on.
Turnage looks to drive right at Rollins, misses the layup. So the Ravens 0 for 3 in the early stages. Another 3 attempt off the mark. Battle for the loose ball goes Naz's way, but here comes Diaz in transition. The fake, back out for Cherry for 3. Off the rim, no good. Storrs rips down the rebound, misses his 1st attempt and his 2nd attempt. And a nice cold start for the Ravens. Here come Nazareth looking to run. It's Rogers. Back out to Rollins. And here's Witter. Into the lane, and Jennings was fouled.
The aggressiveness of Jennings going in early on and trying to rack up the foul for St. Raymond's. And, one strategy, too, is if you want the others to beat you for St. Ray's, well, then attack the paint, try and draw fouls, hit your free throws in the process, and make Lopez dip into that bench.
Foul by Cherry. His 1st, which sends Jennings to the foul line for 2. The 1st is no good, and one thing that Gary Irvin told us leading into this one was, listen, we're the underdog. No one expected us, but we expected to be here. He says, I've got the best team in the city, and I'll continue to believe that.
Well, they're playing like it right now. 7-out run to start off the contest. This is the first 3.5 minutes into the game.
Here's Diaz to Stores. And we expect different looks as well from Nazareth. And Stores was fouled on his way up. It's Jennings called for the foul. Good look there at Brandon Stores. We alluded to it. How about this for a 2-week span, John? Let's see, where did it start? It started with winning the Archdiocese Championship. Then you whittled your choices down to 3 colleges. You choose Georgia Tech. There was a ceremony at the school. So that was awesome. And then he helps lead his team into the semifinals, and lo and behold, eclipses Isaiah Washington's school record for points.
It's been the weeks of Stores for St. Raymond. And, oh, yeah, he's only a junior, so he's got another year to really etch his legacy for the Ravens.
And that's the remarkable thing. As here's Jennings, to Rollins. Back out, Jennings, dribble penetration, kick to the corner. Rollins fouled as he tried to flush the putback.
I love the bounciness of Rollins. You can just get up there with the best of them. 6'6", great wingspan. Look at the positioning here. St. Ray's doing all they can to box out, but Rollins just the size advantage over Brandon Stores. It's not an easy thing to do.
Rollins, a guy who also has Division I suitors. Knocks down the first. Oklahoma State, Seton Hall, and Manhattan among his offers. 9-2, the Kingsmen with the early lead. Here's Diaz. White goes baseline, up and under for 2.
Pretty finish, driving baseline. Nobody rotates. Rollins has to stay home. And just doesn't go up and contest that. Good acrobatic finish and a couple of buckets that the Ravens needed.
Kamari White's got the season high in the league this year, 48 points. As Rollins turns back rim, no good, but there's a foul on the floor. This will go against Tyler Francis of Nazareth. And Gary Irvin said the way that his guys won on the road in the Bronx, a close game the regular season, was with energy and effort and getting rebounds and getting out and running. As there's an errant pass by Rollins intended for Rogers.
Well, they came out firing the first couple of minutes and started by that 7-0 run, but they were rebounding, knocking down their shots. They're fearless. And in any one of these playoff games, you always want to land the first jab. And Nazareth doing so, and now just has to defend. It's tough to do so against Turnage.
Turnage, he'll go up and under, and that's blocked by Tyler Francis. That win in the regular season was 61-56. Nazareth making a trip to the Ravens' Nest on February 9th and winning that one. And one thing that we knew, certainly, that his guys were ready for that one. We saw them all at St. Ray's just the game before when the Ravens beat St. Francis Prep. Baseline jumper for Stores. He was fouled. It's on Rollins, his first.
And those Kingsmen watching the broadcast too and coming over and chirping us afterwards, but you love the confidence of them, and you love that they never back down, and they don't care what class that they're in or what offers they do or don't have. They just go out and ball, and it's a big reason why they're in the semifinals. And Brandon Stores now one more free throw upcoming.
Yeah, Gary Irvin said probably around the league, you know, maybe you think they might win 5 or 6 league or games within the league, and in a tough Brooklyn Queens division with St. Francis Prep and Christ the King and They went 14-2 in league play this year. They were the 1 seed in the Brooklyn Queens, losing at St. Francis Prep in the BQ final. Corner 3 was Tristan Rogers.
I know it's not any indicator, Dylan, but I did see Nazareth for a couple of games at at Iona University, the sanctioned CHSAA, and they could flat out play. And I believe they won either 2 of 3 or whatever it was. They came out with a good outcome, and they were just jumping out of the gym and playing teams in the AA. Now, I don't know how much that carries over from summer to winter, but you'd have to imagine some confidence builds there.
Well, when we spoke with Gary Irvin, he said also the effort was there. You know, guys sacrifice maybe a lot of personal time in the summer to be in the gym and be in the weight room and get ready for the rigors of the AA. Big rebound and put back by Elijah Cherry.
George Lopez looks at Cherry as the X factor, and he's a senior. He's one of the elder statesmen that Lopez wishes was a year younger because of what he can provide down low defensively and on the glass.
Now again, different look. And that was a 3 attempt by Rollins, fouled by White. So now 3 free throws for Rollins. Knocked down his first 2 already. And as you mentioned, right, like you know, we're very much in the moment and we're talking about these players this year, but Rollins, another one of these guys, he's just a junior.
No, the league's in a good spot. It's at one of those junctures in high school athletics where a lot of underclassmen are playing above their years, so we'll see them in their final seasons. And I don't want to punt on these final 3 games for the AA, but the future's bright, and it's encouraging when you see guys like Rollins in his junior year take the next step. I can't wait to see what happens to Diaz. We'll see Osman Asako for St. Francis Prep. Stepanak's got some good young talent as well.
So Rollins goes 2 of 3. And the lead now 14-8 for Nazareth. They got out to a fast start in the quarterfinals as well. Both they and Scanlon did. Here's Storrs. What a great first step by Storrs.
Brandon Storrs cutting 20 pounds in the offseason to really get himself into shape, and by doing that he's able to cut inside so flawlessly.
A 1-3-1 look now from the Ravens.
It causes the turnover.
Yeah, White snuck in, and here comes Turnage ahead of the field, looking for the contact, and the foul, doesn't get it, but the putback is scored by White.
Yeah, White recognizing Witter wasn't boxing out, and an easy offensive rebound and bucket.
2-point ball game as we're in now the final minutes of this first quarter, the first of 2 CHSAA AA semifinals from Rose Hill Gymnasium. Open 3, in and out by Roman. And Storrs rips down the rebound. Turnage from 3, off the mark, and that'll be a push-off called on the rebound attempt by Cherry. His second. So substitutions for both teams. Hassan Cisse in for St. Raymond's, and Jennings back in for Nazareth.
A little bit of a tough blow with Cherry picking up 2 quick ones in the first quarter. Cisse, only a sophomore, now has to do a little bit more.
Rogers, look down low to Roman. The strip by White. The ball stays with Nazareth. Jennings up top. Another 3 attempt that well off. This allows the Ravens now to run. Here's Turnage, kind of half speed there. He was pointing it out for Storrs, but Anderson Diaz says, I have other ideas. 3 seconds, block from Storrs. So some positivity after the slow start. The Ravens end the first quarter with some momentum, and they tie this one 14-14. all. Anderson Diaz is making Rose Hill his own home. The layup. The Ravens and the Kingsmen tied at 14. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Look inside the Nazareth huddle. Gary Irvin. He's played some big games in his day, huh, John? Went to the Garden as a junior and a senior.
Looks like he can still play.
Oh, 100%.
He might be the sixth best player on the floor, sixth best player on his team. And that's just because he's not practicing every day.
In our conversation, said, I like Anderson Diaz's game. He said he's got that like fearlessness as a freshman, and he also wears my number, so it's another reason I like him.
He did note he's not going to like him today, though.
Yes.
And then once the buzzer sounds, he's back on Team Diaz.
He's hoping that Anderson has his worst game of his freshman year, and after that, wishes him the best of luck. 14-0 to start the second quarter. Top of the key three off the mark. That shot by Caden Francis. Talk about a talented sophomore. Caden Francis is just that. What a first step. Turnage trying to draw the foul, doesn't get the call. It's the second trip now that we've seen him try to perhaps convince the officials there was a foul. And this time Diaz is called for the foul on the other side.
Listen, keep working it. Nazareth needs a point in the worst way. They're scoreless over the last 2.5 minutes, 2:34 to be exact. And St. Ray's has thrown different defenses at him in different zones. 2-3, 1-3-1. It's a little bit like a box now.
We wondered if George Lopez would look into his cell phone and dial up Jimmy Lynch's phone number, the St. Francis prep coach, because they were the last team to beat Nazareth in the Brooklyn Queens Championship.
Yeah, well, unless Jimmy was going to give him Osmana Sacco, then I don't think there's any reason.
Well, no, he's going to talk to them about how you beat them. And
sure, do you have a 6'6" guy that's blocking every shot, scoring
George
41
Lopez,
points and 13
I think
rebounds?
perhaps maybe you can give Jimmy Lynch some advice on how to beat Stepanak. I don't know. Tough shot by, oh man, Brandon Storrs.
That's what gets you going in the ACC. A hand right in your face and you still drain it.
16-14, Ravens with their first lead. Rollins, the runner, off the mark. And this is part of the issue as a foul is called on Jennings. You just mentioned it before. Nazareth are prone to these stretches. And the later in the season you go, the less you can afford to have these kind of stretches.
Right, especially when you've got the caliber of opponents that you're going to be facing in St. Ray's and presumptively Prep or Stepanak. Those are teams that can go on long runs and score. And when you're not scoring, you know, I'm going to break a lot of basketball minds out there, but you're not going to win.
Although they bucked that trend Sunday night barely by only scoring 2 points in the fourth quarter. I've never seen a basketball game where a team wins the game, or the team that won the game only scored 2 points. Oh, Storrs is starting to heat it up.
In his last 40 seconds, Storrs has scored more points in that fourth quarter for Nazareth. And boy, do they need a three.
That's not going to happen there. Rollins misses it. Turnage the rebounds. And the Ravens are feeling it. Storrs hands off to Turnage. Wouldn't have faulted him if he took that three. Diaz, nice fake. He'll step back and knock down the triple. Timeout is called by Nazareth as Anderson Diaz, his first triple of the game.
13-0 run for St. Ray's, and it's been because of this. Off the miss, they set up their offense Diaz really becoming a glue guy for St. Ray's. It's been the postseason of Diaz and Kansas.
We mentioned it to George Lopez, and one thing about Anderson Diaz that really impresses us certainly is his demeanor, right? He's got a Felipe Lopez-like following, right, in Castle Hill. And when we spoke with him after the Archdiocese game, I don't know, it struck me certainly, humble, nice, grounded kid.
Yeah, 100%, and very excited, but he doesn't look like a freshman, doesn't sound like a freshman. Maybe it's just the baby face in him, but very mature, and I think he understands the gravity of the situation as well, but it's good to have that foundation. George Lopez was lauding the family and how well that they've raised him, and it all starts at home, and it takes a village, obviously, and they're supporting him, and they're in full attendance here. And
he lauded the family for a minute, and then he said, where's my Mr. Diaz sweatshirt?
You and these sweatshirts.
I'm just saying.
Whoever's handling the Diaz sweatshirts, if you could get a couple of Varsity Media.
No, I want George Lopez to get his first. Off the miss, Stores from 3. That's short.
Do you think instead of that $5 Zelle payment for drawing a charge, you could get a sweatshirt instead and just call it a wash?
Perhaps. The old adage here is if you're struggling, if you're missing shots, you get to the rim, but Nazareth trying to shoot the 3. That's off the mark as well.
If you're St. Ray's, let them take it. Let them shoot their way out of it.
Cisse, the look inside to White, and he was fouled in the act of shooting.
One interesting stat here. St. Ray's has outscored Nazareth 12-0 in the paint. And it's because of that they're able to open it up and kick it out for 3, or at least find those mid-range jumpers. And during that stretch, they're able to attack on the interior, and Nazareth just doesn't have an answer.
Yeah, their last field goal with 3:03 left in the first quarter.
And, we talk about Diaz and how well he's played. Remember, there was a stretch of the season, too, where Kamari White was the best player for St. Ray's, had that 48-point output against Cardinal Hayes. I think that's the second most in St. Ray's history for a single game. And that's what championship teams do. You get different contributions throughout the year.
Triple missed, and there's the putback. A much-needed basket for Nazareth as Rollins gets it inside.
Rollins looked like a volleyball player there. Camped out in the right place, the right time, and created his own luck.
White to kick, the extra. There's Diaz between the legs. To the hands of Ty Turnage. I don't know what the number is, but played so many games. Started as a freshman. 2 on the shot. They've got to get one off. It's Turnage to do so. Off the rim, no good. Rebound ripped down by Nazareth's Justin Delgado. Corner 3, good. Achilles Desmengles.
Gary Irvin calls him the Jamal Crawford. And what an option to have off the bench. Desmengles this year, the 6'3 junior, very crafty. He can fill it up from downtown. And boy, did Nazareth need that one.
Illegal screen called on Cherry. And that's already his 3rd. So Cherry to the bench. Colin Pang in for him.
Dylan, we've seen stretches too where St. Ray's will play to their youth as well,
Sure.
even though they're very experienced. It's interesting because both of these teams, and I think their coaches will admit this, they could be their own worst enemies at times.
We see again the Ravens switching things up defensively. I don't know if they've given the same look on 2 straight possessions. This again, back to that 1-3-1. Rollins doubled. Desmengles, the skip pass up top. Rollins for 3. Good.
Well, for Nazareth, the drought is over, and Rollins, good open look, good foundation. He's a very solid shooter, good base. Hands it.
9 for Rollins, and it's a 1-point ball game. Stores loses it, trying to turn baseline, looking for help, saying it was deflected, but neither official on that side agreeing as White comes in for CHSAA. Benches this time of year, they shrink, but neither of these teams really doing that a lot here in the postseason. They both utilize their bench quite a bit.
Well, and you need to, and you don't want your stars getting in foul trouble. And at times when you have to slow it down or at least spell somebody for a 2-3 minute stretch, you're going to need your subs to come in and do that.
Witter from 3, off the mark. And here come the Ravens. 2:14 left in the first half. Turnage to Stores. Irvin said, I want some help on that. It came late, the shot was off, and then it went off of Colin Pang. So Nazareth with the ball and a chance to regain their lead. They led by as many as 7. That was the early stages of the first quarter. They started on a 7-0 run. Triple off the mark by Rogers. Here comes Turnage out and running. Feeding Colin Pang down low, but I think he took a step. What do we have? Nope, there's a foul.
That's the right call there. Pang getting whacked, and that's the thing with Pang too, and his size and how strong he is, that when he's hit he doesn't move, so it's hard to call those fouls, but there was contact, and Naz will go into their bench. Release back to the starter.
.138 left, and Stores will inbound underneath. Gets it to Pang. Turnage for 3, off the mark, no good. Battle for the loose ball, and it goes to Nazareth. And the Kingsmen outrunning, layup is good. Tristan Rogers. And it's Nazareth now with a 1-point lead. Nice pass, there's an extra. White. 3 off the mark. Same team for the rebound, and that goes to Rogers. As we're now inside the final minute of the first half. Halon Rollins, the extra look. We go baseline, and that's good. Tyler Francis for 2. And suddenly Nazareth with a strong end to the second quarter. They've got a 26-23 lead. We have an official's timeout. There's a wet spot on the floor. Gary Irvin has pointed it out. So they'll get a towel or a cloth. There it is. Trying to find that wet spot. White to inbounds. Goes backcourt to Turnage. Turns towards George Lopez, gets the call. Stores. Diaz. Diaz to the hoop. All around the rim, no good, and it will go to Nazareth. And right away, you see the finger 1 come up by Gary Irvin. Wants the Kingsmen here to hold for the last. It's Rogers. Des Mengels. 15 seconds remaining. Rogers from way downtown, off the mark, stores the rebound. Three-quarter court heave is off the mark, but it's Nazareth leading this one by 3 at the break. So a tough first few moments of the second quarter, but a strong end as Nazareth has the lead at the break. We'll send it down to the court where John Perez has Gary Irvin.
Gary, we saw a little lesson that you gave over there. What were you telling your guard?
I was just telling them every time they pass, you got to step in aggressively. You making it a flat-footed shot, so it's a harder shot. When you pass, you step in. They're dropping that middle guy. We got a wide-open shot. He's one of the best shooters in the city. But if you're standing there, it's hard. So I just want him to continue to shoot that shot.
St. Ray's went on a 13-0 run. You guys were able to come back. How were you able to get out of that deficit?
Man, I just think it's believing in the kids. We've been in this position before. This is our third time playing in, a crazy environment. So I just wanted to trust the process and, kind of play like they ain't got no timeouts. Everybody going runs.
I appreciate it, Gary. Thank you. Dill, we'll send it back up to you.
Thanks, Sean. And Gary Irvin's got his game face on. That is for sure. His Kingsmen with a 3-point lead at the break. We will take a break and we'll have halftime stats, highlights, and more. You're watching the CHSAA AA Semifinals, all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable, and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Varsity Media is offering a video folder that you can customize to meet your needs. A photo of your athlete can be elegantly placed in the front panel. Essential statistics with a biography can be printed on the inside panel, and videos can be downloaded and viewed on an LCD screen for as long as 2 hours. The attractive video folder can be placed on a coffee table and instantly becomes a conversation starter. Order your video folder today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or give us a call at 516-403-2050. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Rose Hill Gymnasium. Dylan Butler, John Perez, our entire Varsity Media crew here with you. It's halftime of the first of 2 CHSAA AA semifinals, and it's Nazareth with a 26-23 lead. Let's take a look at some of those first half stats. And you see the rebounding numbers, slight edge to St. Ray's. I like that number of assists, and I'm sure Gary Irvin, who had a lot of assists in his day, likes that number as well.
Yeah, he likes it as well. The rebounding advantage for St. Ray's is because Nazareth went on, Rays went on that 13-0 run because Naz only is shooting 8 for 24 from the floor. Gary Irvin said it's just a matter of believing each other and how much the kids want to get themselves out of that rut. That's a big reason why they were able to do so, and then got on Tristan Rogers for taking flat-footed shots. He wants him to, step into a shot, get there. But stats-wise, yeah, it's been pretty even. Both teams have gone on runs. Good answers back and forth, and at times have been their own worst enemy.
Some individual numbers for you. Storrs leading all scorers with 10 points. Also has 6 rebounds, so he has 6 of the Ravens' 19 rebounds in that first half. Diaz with 5, White with 4, no points scored for Turnage in that first half. We'll see if that changes in the second half. And for Nazareth, Rollins leading the way with 9 points, but he shot 2 of 5 from the field, 4 of 5 from the foul line. Rogers with 5 and Jennings with 4. So obviously, look, when you only score 26 points, you're not going to have a lot of big numbers there, but you got to imagine both teams, both coaches, I'm sure in their locker rooms want maybe some better shots, or certainly making more shots. We showed you those shooting numbers, 32% for the Ravens and 33.3% for Nazareth.
Well, the biggest thing, Dylan, and we talked about it a little bit while the Ravens were on that run for Nazareth, when you're in such a rut, you want to start to attack the basket, create your own opportunities. They just continued to hoist from 3, and eventually they fell down. And so for Gary Irvin, he knows his personnel well, and he knows that they can, at times, be a good three-point shooting team. Led by that man, Mr. Rollins, who's being pushed back into the game. It's like, hey, bud, you got a whole other half to play.
Okay, talk to me after 16 minutes.
Here's the thing, and I know I'm going out on a limb with this prediction, but if Nazareth only scores 2 points again in the fourth quarter, I do not see them advancing. So have to shore it up. You went through it the other day. Now just calm. You're back at square one, and destiny at your hands.
Steal to start the third quarter. Layup is good by Jennings.
And I love the concentration of Jennings, too, on that pass that was a little bit out of his reach. He was able to stunt momentum, scoop it, and score.
The late, great Bert Beagle maybe was the only guy who might have had that stat on how many times a team scored 2 points in the fourth quarter and won. Finger roll at the basket by Diaz doesn't fall.
I don't know about a book, but there needs to be some long-form piece on the CHSAA.
Oh, man. Jennings. 5 quick points out of the halftime break, and the lead now 31-23 for Nazareth.
Jennings trying to write some history for his team. And St. Ray's needs a bucket, and there it is. Elijah Cherry, good job on the interior.
And Cherry with the putback. It's a timeout for St. Ray's. A full one will take it with them. 6:53 left, third quarter. You're watching the CHSAA Semifinals on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Rose Hill Gymnasium. Dylan Butler, John Perez, the entire Varsity Media crew. Interesting timeout there, off of a make by George Lopez, and also choosing a full timeout. So obviously Nazareth got out to a quick start, and no doubt George saw something there that he didn't like and needed to quickly address.
Yeah, and it's interesting because come playoff times, you don't want anything to fester, and you don't want Nazareth to continue to balloon on this 6-point lead. So get back defensively. We'll see if they come out in a zone or a man-to-man, whatever they have coming up here, but probably drawing up a few other plays, too, to get some open options.
Well, they showed zone, and now it appears they're back in the man. Baseline, that's a tough shot there. by Tyler Francis, and will go the other way. Turnage out and running. A little force there. Would have been better suited, I think, to take that shot. And it's on Nazareth with the ball. There's Tristan Rogers, 12.4 points per game this year. Gary Irvin thinks he was a snub for one of the all-league teams. There's a nice extra pass. Jennings, front rim, loose ball. Where we going? The Ravens come away. It's 1v3 though. Stores doesn't care. He's getting to the foul line as he was fouled on his way up by Elijah Witter.
You're going to have to rely on your stars, and particularly Brandon Stores. A fight to the deck. And Stores, I love that he holds on to it here, takes it himself, earns the foul.
You mentioned, yeah, John, you mentioned the weight that he lost, but still so super strong, right? And good ball protector, and he's like a freight train getting to the basket.
Hey, whether that car goes full load or half load, either way, you don't want it coming down the hill. That's what Brandon Stores is, and it's just allowed his conditioning and to keep him in full games as well, and to stay strong from quarters 1 through 4.
George Lopez said that when Brandon Stores chose St. Raymond's, made 2 promises to his future head coach. One, that he'd win a championship in his 4 years and that he would become the all-time leading scorer. He's halfway there. So Brandon Stores is certainly part of this revitalized Ravens team. A school that has such a rich history. Down low, no good. Talk about volleyball off the backboards. That was Jennings, man. He is jumpy at 6'3". The Kingsmen have the ball.
Unable to get the side out as well. See what Nazareth draws up here, and they look towards Rollins, but then flip it out.
And there's Rollins, top of the key. 3 is good.
Love the ball movement there, but Rollins moves so well without the basketball. Gets open. Reyes doesn't rotate on him. He cants the 3.
His second triple. Stores misses the 3. And Rollins dials it up again. Front rim this time. Loose ball will stay with Nazareth. You got to think that getting that win with the struggles that they had as fouled on the baseline was Jennings had to be a big morale boost for this one. And listen, those lessons are always better served when you have a game to prepare for than when you're handing in your jerseys.
No doubt. And for Nazareth, it's a good building moment. And it just shows how tough the league is, too. And a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you get it done. Because Nazareth is playing tonight, Scanlon is not. And it also shows, or it'll boost the confidence because you're able to see, even though you're struggling, you played well enough in the third quarter, spin zone here. You continue to play well in the third quarter, you're going to give yourself a chance coming fourth quarter.
Rollins off the mark. Battle for the loose ball. Rollins comes away. And then a foul on that scramble, as it ended up being Witter to get that loose ball, and he's fouled by Stores.
That's got to be frustrating for Stores because he was being held on the loose rebound, and then he commits the foul himself.
That's his second. On that previous foul, by the way, Elijah Cherry picked up his 4th. So he's back on the bench, and CHSAA is in for him. And again, a different look. Looks almost, for a moment there, like a box and one on Rollins, who swings it. Jennings on top to Rollins. Good sharing of the basketball. Jennings misses the 3. Now the rebounds are going the way of the Kingsmen. Rollins can't get the putback. And here comes Turnage the other way. Ty Turnage puts it down, and he's fouled on the court.
Turgeon going through it right now. A little frustration on the missed layup, even though he was fouled. It's just a true competitor out there, Ty Turnage. And obviously, coming from a great basketball family, Billy, now the head coach at Holy Cross, did amazing things at Wings in the PSAL.
I remember in Billy's early days as Wings coach, whenever there'd be like halftime or before the game, Ty Turnage, he was, maybe like 3 feet tall back then, but as Diaz fouled on his layup attempt, he was always out there, always a basketball in his hands.
There's another guy that grew up with a basketball in his hands too, and that's high praise, comparing him to Felipe Lopez, but at least the following is there. Now granted, I'm sure somewhere there's a famous sports guru out there convulsing at the comparison to Lopez, because he's not selling out the arena kind of like Lopez did. But either way, for St. Ray's, they'd love for that to be the case, and they've been getting that, and it's good to see Dylan, a young guy, growing into his own, building that confidence, and he just continues to shine every day for St. Ray's.
Well, I was at St. John's when Felipe Lopez was a senior at Rice, and the hype around Felipe Lopez, and this is obviously pre-social media, was, next level. It was crazy. The games, every game at the Gauchos would sell out. You couldn't get in there, and it was a traveling road show. All those people wanting to come out to watch him ball, and on the cover of Sports Illustrated before he even played a game at St. John. So perhaps unfairly, a lot was on his shoulders, but there's Rollins, stripped inside by Cisse. And obviously Diaz kind of going through it in a whole different world now with Instagram and other social media platforms. There he is, Diaz. Oh, what a pass down low, and White is fouled.
That's what St. Ray's needed in the worst way. Nice dime underneath, and an even better catch by White with momentum, driving baseline.
Jennings picks up his third. And now White, the man they call Wolverine, will shoot 2 free throws. Makes the first.
We'll take a look at the foul going baseline, but either way, good job getting to the rack, good athletic ability as well on the finish, trying to finish.
The Ravens may have missed a lot of field goals, but that was their first missed free throw. 11 of 12 from the line. Their deficit now 4. Rollins. Roman underneath, and he was fouled. And Storr is pleading his case to probably something you just mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah, no, and that's frustration there, and right now Rogers hits the free throw line.
Roman looking for his first points of the game, gets it. He's that prototypical energy guy, Roman, when he comes off the bench. Gary Irvin said he's got the talent to be an all-league player as well. And he's a really good player on the defensive end. And that, I mean, you love that combination, the energy and the effort, and now the defensive work for a guy off the bench. Misses his second.
What else I like about Jacob Roman is that he was the second leading scorer on their A teams and then had to take a back seat, and he's embraced it fully, and a big reason why Naz is having the year that they're having.
Turnage misses the 3. He's now 0 for 9 from the field. And we've not seen that from him really this year.
He's catch and shoot by Tyler Francis, setting his feet. St. Ray's doesn't cover over to him.
7-point lead for Nazareth. Stores attacking the rim and was fouled on his way there.
So tough to stay in front of Stores. So Rogers picks up his third. And getting his hand caught in the cookie jar.
And Stores is a guy, hopefully this isn't a commentator curse, but he has obviously made all of his free throws, and a lot of them at that. 7 of 7 from the foul line for Brandon Stores. 2-time first team all-league selection. Misses his second. It's a strange atmosphere, John, here in this third quarter. Rollins kicks it out. One more for Roman. Knocks it down from the corner.
Yeah, Roman dials it in. And you're right, it is a little funky in here. Maybe that just has to do with it's a more pro-Bronx crowd being at Rose Hill. But either way, we haven't had a game, or we haven't had this quarter fall into its groove yet either. Start and stop, herky-jerky, go to the free throw line.
Not dissimilar, I think, to our way here, right? A lot of traffic on the way, stop and start.
You're telling me.
And Turnage will go to the line where he knocks down his first. So, Ty Turnage. It took until the third quarter, or late in the third quarter, for Turnage to get his first basket. See his points per game, 13-8. Been right there, 1 and 2 with Brandon Stores, not just this year, but for the last 3 years. And Turnage will go to the bench after those made free throws.
What concerns me, Dylan, about Turnage is that you're going to have a tough shooting night. It happens. He's got 7 rebounds, so he's contributing that way, but you don't want your point guard going out there up amongst the glass. He's had to guard some of the better point guards on the other side. Only 1 assist. St. Ray's as a team, 2 assists. That's just not going to get it done.
Oh!
That will.
The putback for Tyler Francis. Wow. That put a bit of a buzz into the crowd here at Rose Hill.
Yeah, let's take another look as it's so often, right place, right time. Get up, young man. Tyler Francis using all 6'6" of that frame to put Naz up 9.
Francis, he's got just 5 points, but some loud points at that, as it's now a 9-point lead for Nazareth with 1:02 left in this third quarter.
Yeah, no, that could be one of the plays of the game if Nazareth comes on to win. But either way for St. Ray's, now in this timeout, you have to regroup. You have to find a way to slow down Naz momentum-wise, but start hitting your shots and get open looks. 1:02 left. I don't expect Cherry to re-enter. You don't want to pick up that 5th foul, but this is where you're going to need the others to step up, as Gary Irvin calls the other side for St. Ray's. Let's take another look. Great angle here. Oh, bingo.
And this now their largest lead of the game, the Kingsmen. So you got to imagine in that St. Ray's huddle, you need to kind of keep it here, right? You don't want to be double digits down going into the fourth quarter. Missed an important possession. So you go to Diaz, misses it on his way up. The ball deflected off of Kingsman down low, and the Ravens will maintain possession. Diaz up top to Stores. Stores drives. There's contact and a foul.
Love that St. Ray's is attacking the basket, trying to cultivate their own offense. Store's a little shaken up as went to the free throw line. We're always hyperbolic and we'll use terms like war, battle, but definitely two physical teams, and Store's just needing a moment. He's a tough young man.
He knocks down the first. For a few years now, he's kind of had to, along with Ty Turnage, carry this team, and he is doing just that again here today, keeping his team within striking distance. He now has 14 points, and 8 of them coming from the foul line.
Well, you still have to contribute. It doesn't matter how you finish. Brandon Storrs finishes with 20 points today, and he goes 20 of 20 at the free throw line. 1, that's a record, but 2, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's just about scoring 1 more point than the other team.
Now a steal. White to the hoop. Count! Oh, the other way!
I want to take another look at that, Dylan, because so close to that semicircle, big-time charge to take for Nez, and Gary Irvin would love that. Let's see right here. Swung over, keep an eye on Roman. Yeah, he's outside of the semicircle. Good job.
And he was planted.
Good call there.
So the Ravens Nation obviously not liking that call, and you could see George Lopez imploring his team to ramp it up, the intensity defensively, and Najee Best was called for the foul. There was a look of frustration from the Ravens head coach. That was the 5th team foul, so that will send the Kingsmen to the line for 2. It'll be Witter.
That's always one of the possibilities when you ratchet it up on defense. You can't get the foul called against you. Rays was going for the steal, but built some momentum going into the 4th quarter.
Roman checks in for Jennings. And Dismangles will come in for the shooter, Witter, who knocks down the second. 43-35, the lead for Nazareth. Here's Diaz. Lost it on the court, got it in the corner. Out to White. White nearly stripped, and then a foul was called.
That's going to go to Dismangles, the junior. I'm a big fan of St. Ray's trying to set up their offense. I'm not a fan of, if you're down more than 1 possession, to just hold for the final shot, especially when you're down 8 points like St. Ray's is. Try and get points on the board, make a stop defensively. It's not like Naz is lighting the world on fire either, Dylan. They've missed a healthy amount of shots. It's just that they've been able to hone in defensively, defend as a unit. St. Ray's is going through it offensively.
And I think it's pretty clear, at least until maybe they get going shooting-wise, they're going to stay in this game by doing just that, making these free throws. 18 of 20 as a team from 90%. Final 16 seconds, like the end of the 2nd quarter. Nazareth here will hold for the last shot. It's Rogers. Best in on him. Look out, White comes. Good spin the other way. 3 is good! What a big basket by Rogers. The double came, but he went the other way, and he knocked down the triple.
Gary Irvin telling him before the half, stop with those flat-footed shots, and he says, Coach, I got you. Take another look here. Time winding down. Tristan Rogers taking what the coach says and nailing it, and Naz 8 minutes away from going back to the final.
A 19-point 3rd quarter has Naz up by 9. You're watching the CHSAA AA semifinals on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
It's Isaiah Hartenstein. You're watching Varsity Media.
We welcome you back to Fordham University. David Butler, John Perez here. It's the final 8 minutes of regulation, and Nazareth trying to close this thing out. They struggled to do so in this quarter, in the quarterfinals, only scoring 2 points, needing those 2 points to win by 3. Rollins, baseline. Doesn't fall. Here comes Turnage the other way. Turnage to the basket. Rejected. Rogers.
Big deflection by Rogers there. Good pass.
Witter, the up fake to Rollins now. Rollins sees the mismatch, kicks it out. The one more. We've seen a lot of that from Nazareth today, right? Making those extra passes. As Mengel spins back out, another triple from Rogers off the mark, and the rebound goes to Storrs. Storrs from 3. No good. Tip rebound. And Nazareth gets the ball.
That's the 10th miss from 3 in 11 attempts for St. Ray's.
And now Des Mengels called for the offensive foul. Storrs drawing the charge.
Good job by Storrs. Plants his feet, not afraid to take a charge. Brandon Storrs isn't afraid of anything.
And again, certainly some frustration, as it just kind of doesn't it feel like St. Ray's has been kind of in neutral this whole game. Like they've not accelerated like we've seen them, especially down the stretch, and the way they did in that third quarter against Stepanak in the Archdiocese, and the way they did in the second quarter here in the quarterfinal.
It's like that scene in My Cousin Vinny when he's just stuck in the mud. They're trying.
And Storrs with the kiss. You know he's trying, that's for sure.
Leaving it all out on the floor, leading the way with 17 points.
But I think what you like if you are Gary Irvin certainly is that your guys, and again, they've been through 27 battles this year, they're making smart decisions with the basketball. As Cisse is called for the foul on Witter. Maybe lesson learned from just Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that you could change. Gary Irvin, a great coach, very observant, a student of the game. But he knows his team well, and he knows the adjustments, and don't think that he hasn't told his team, hey, they let us stay around, and we kept ourselves in the dance. Now let's go and do something. We're not just participants in the AA. We're here to win it.
Witter knocks down his first. That rebounding advantage that we saw St. Ray's have is gone. It was a big rebounding third quarter for Naz, and they've got their +2 on the glass.
And +3 on the offensive glass.
As Witter knocks them both down. 9 points has been and remains the largest lead for Nazareth. Last lead for St. Ray's, you got to go all the way back to the second quarter with 1:27 left there. Storrs, too strong, gets his own rebound. Storrs trying to draw a foul and gets his third opportunity. So those rebounding numbers are now maybe a plus for St. Ray's on those 3 opportunities for Storrs.
Storrs not going down without a fight. Love the hustle and bustle underneath. And continuing to fight against the treetops. And Nazareth has the size advantage. And let's count them. 1 rebound. Puts it on the deck. Feels we like the counts. 2 rebounds and 3. It's a bucket.
So the deficit is 7 for the Ravens, and it looks like off of that timeout, now they'll go full court.
Yeah, and we haven't seen St. Ray's try and speed up Nazareth. And so, Naz a team that doesn't really want to go that deep. And you don't want to press all games because you don't want to show and allow Naz to make adjustments.
Leader doubled, stolen by White. Ball deflects out of bounds, but that's the way it's been going for the Ravens because Nazareth will get the ball. And Rollins, some teaching moments for Witter there even too.
Well, let's see if Naz has a press-breaking play. And who's the ball handler that can get it across the floor? Lopez looks ready like he's playing defense.
Now numbers for Nazareth the other way. Attacking the basket. Charge is called. And look at this. It's Brandon Storrs drawing his second charge. That's $10.
Don't think he won't send the invoice tomorrow, but you gotta love Brandon Storrs in what could be his final game as a junior for St. Ray's. Leaving it all out on the floor, and when your best player is contributing on both ends of the floor, Dylan, that can only help inspire the rest of the crew.
Storrs, the runner, in and out and back in!
Listen, all this talk about players outside of Storrs and a big reason why they got here, but in the biggest games, you need your biggest players to perform.
Now the steal inside, White is fouled, and it's getting loud. Sounds like the Ravens' nest here.
They've been waiting all night for something to scream about, Dylan. You gotta love the inspired basketball, and Ravens outscoring as 6-2 in the fourth quarter, led by Brandon Storrs, leading it on the defensive end and then offensively.
I think Storrs threatened the basketball, like, you better get back in there. First free throw missed by White. If there's a time to kick it into gear, now is that time for the Ravens with 5:05 left in this fourth quarter. Second free throw, front rim, good, loose ball, look at this, gets to White. White attacks the rim. Doesn't get the finish. Stripped from behind, and a foul as well against Diaz. His third.
It's tough to give him that time, but either way, we're starting to see the press give Nazareth fits. And it's a concerted team effort, too, and a collective approach, which is what you need out of St. Raymond.
It's been one of the reasons why they've been here. It's that collective effort. Storrs nearly getting that one from Rollins, going Roman baseline. He is fouled. Is it on Diaz? If it is, it's his fourth. It is. So back-to-back fouls called against Diaz. This will send Roman to the line to shoot two. He's 1 of 2 from the foul line today. First is good.
These are times during the game, Dylan, that if you're on that Nazareth bench, you can feel like this game is slipping away, or it's gotten away, just because of the run that St. Ray's was on. But you look up at the scoreboard, you're still up 6. 4:48 left in regulation. You can still shoot your way out of this. Take a deep breath. You've got 3 timeouts.
1 of 2 for Roman. Here's Here's Turnage. Feed the beast. Stores. Really lost the hand. A good defense by Rollins. There's a runner in the lane. Turnage misses it. Loose ball and stepping out. Oh, a push is called.
And they're going to call it against Stores.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know about that one either.
So Naz, there's Rollins. Oh, an extra step. He knew it as well. So a turnover for Nazareth and their 10th of this game. It'll be Diaz to inbound. Up top for Stores. Hands it off back to the freshman Diaz. Roman in his grill. Diaz up and under. No good. Roman the rebound. Rollins from 3. Huge basket for Nazareth. And a timeout called by Irvin.
Well, that's exactly what you need to quell a rout. And a good job by Rollins to get open in space. And cans it to put Nazareth up 9. We'll take another look. This is how you break a press. Good racing into the front court. Stores with 3 personals. And 3 falls.
15 for Rollins. And I was about to say, I guess before he knocks on the triple, I thought they were maybe going too fast there. But listen, if there's a guy that has that green light, seemingly whenever, it's Halon Rollins.
Dylan, if we've learned anything about Nazareth, they've been all gas, no break this entire season. And that's why they won the Brooklyn Queens regular season. Bam. Rollins. I'll go to war with that guy.
That's what Gary Irvin has done. And all that work and effort by St. Ray's, and suddenly on that triple, the deficit is what it's been. It's back to 9. And now you've got only 4 minutes remaining, possibly in your season. Stores, baseline, rejected by Rollins. Now Rollins the other way, fouled by Turnage. Look out. The Rollins train is coming at you.
They get off the tracks, and are they going to call that on Diaz? Let's see the official. It's not. Turnage, that's his first. Diaz playing with foul trouble. His 5th.
Rollins, 4 of 5, now 4 of 6 from the foul line.
Oh, what a jinx. But he's been as good as advertised, right, Dylan, in this playoff run. Can jump out of the gym. He's a good shooter.
15 and 8. This is the second.
I'll take that one.
Here's Turnage. Diaz. Lefty layup. Diaz, it's good.
All right, so it starts with the bucket, now the press, and a turnover. Good job by Brandon Stores to step in front of Rawlings. Didn't handle it cleanly. Rollins says that Stores deflects it, but I don't think that's going to overturn anything. St. Ray's chance to get quick 4 or 5 points.
They're within 7 up top to Stores. Guarded by a Roman. Stores, the fadeaway. Off the mark, and what do we have in the rebounds? Foul on Cisse for St. Ray's.
That's going to send Naz to the line.
The Ravens over that 5 foul limit. So Jennings to the line. short.
And he knew it right away. It's a rare miss for Jennings.
Programming reminder, 8 o'clock tonight. It's the second semifinal, pitting Stepanak, the defending champions, against St. Francis Prep. Unlike this game, those are regular semifinalists these last few years. Timeout called by the Ravens. Ravens' last trip to the semifinals, John, was 2020. There was one semifinal set on the bracket that year. It was Scanlon and St. Ray's, but then the COVID-19 global pandemic happened, and then the season was shuttered. And that's part of the conversation that has happened for the St. Ray's team, especially with Elliot Rosado, who is Malachi Smith's dad. Malachi Smith, a part of that team, and spoke to this year's team and said, listen, these trips, do not take them for granted. You never know when that's going to be taken away from you, like it was for Malachi Smith and his teammates at St. Ray's. So he said, George Lopez said, that this team is not just playing for themselves, but for that 2020 team, and also for the entire Ravens community that was affected by that season ending.
Well, obviously Lopez is the face of this program, as the coaches are, but he's done a really good job. He, Oliver Antigua, a fantastic job connecting all classes for St. Ray's over the years, and you always see them coming back to home games, cheering them on during the playoffs. It's a wonderful culture up there in Castle Hill.
2 more for Diaz.
Right, you only got 4 years in high school, Dale, then it's over.
You don't redshirt. Blocked by Stores. Loose ball. It will go to the Ravens with 2:50 remaining. St. Ray's has been playing catch-up since late stages of the second quarter. Their largest deficit has been 9. And it's been that on a couple of occasions. But they are potentially a 3-point shot away from making it a 1-possession game here. Not that they've had a lot of success from beyond the arc, just 1 of 12 to this point. Here's Diaz attacking the basket again. There's the kick out. White. One more to Turnage. A difficult day at the office for Turnage. Here's White for 3. It's good! But Rollins ahead of the field, misses the dunk!
St. Raymond has numbers. Rollins slow to get up.
And a wise foul, I think, there by Tyler Francis, realizing the numerical disadvantage. It's the team's 4th. And there you see it, within 3 in the bottom of your screen. Diaz fouled by Rollins. That was a foul. I'm not sure what the argument is. I know what the argument is. He was saying he was fouled on the other end.
Yeah. Well, this is where you need to be composed, and for two teams that want it so badly, just out there competing and just trying to get to the finish line, and another bumpy landing for Gary Irvin's crew.
Diaz knocks it down. He brings most of Castle Hill with him. And that's where St. Raymond's is, so it's always a big crowd at the Ravens' Nest, but they've now traveled here to Rose Hill. You see them in that left corner after Anderson takes the free throw. He does. It's a 1-point ball game. Roman to the hoop. Counted, and the foul!
Gotta love Roman getting up the floor, breaks the press. And then hits it as Turnage picks up the foul. That's the thing about showing the same press early and continuing. Naz has figured it out, at least on that sequence, and then just a size disadvantage. Turnage contesting but fouls. Good answer back by Nazareth.
Roman completes the three-point play. 4-point lead. Here's White to Turnage, guarded by Rollins, and now the switch occurs. Big rejection by Rollins on Stores. We come the other way, and then an overcooked pass results in a turnover for the Kingsmen.
That's why you always got to keep your head down and just look forward and not rush anything. And Nazareth, the team that all they knew is to go into fourth gear.
Timeout is called by St. Ray's. 1:39 left. We'll take it with them as well. You're watching the CHSAA AA Semifinals in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
Back at Rose Hill Gymnasium, Dylan Butler, John Perez, our entire Varsity Media crew. It is desperation time in that St. Ray's huddle and nearly jubilation time in that Nazareth huddle, but there's still 1:39 left. The job is not done. And that's, I'm sure, part of the message by Gary Irvin during that timeout.
With all the pressure on St. Ray's, they have to score. They're the ones that have to defend. That's how you have to look at it if you're Nazareth. And for St. Ray's, hey, they want the ball in their hands anyway, so maybe they'll take it.
Here's Diaz, quick first step. Diaz rejected by Rollins in the stare down. White got a piece, but it'll be Nazareth ball. Back-to-back possessions where Halon Rollins made a big rejection, first on Stores and now on Diaz.
I love the blocks. You can't flex on him in the middle of the gameplay. You have to get back on defense.
There's Rollins in the corner. He gets the ball back. Rogers back to Rollins. Now Jennings. St. Ray's trying to double the ball, but is moving too quickly. Three-point shot off the mark. Diaz, smart play just to give it up. It would have been a traveling violation. Here's Stores. Turnage gets it back. Turnage still driving at Rollins. No good. Rogers lost it. White for three. Off the mark. Rollins, the rebound. He has been all over these last few minutes. Jump ball will stay with St. Ray's.
Yeah, Rollins making winning plays at the right time, boxing out, blocking. This is what championship players do in a title-like effort for Rollins. The discussion now is whether or not you reset the shot clock,
and they will. What a tough day at the office. Ty Turnage 0 for 12 from the field. He does somehow have 10 rebounds and 2 assists. So George Lopez, the savvy coach that he is, using this stoppage as an uncharged timeout. It'll be Diaz to inbound, gets it to Stores. Stores draws the contact and the foul against Rollins.
on each other. And what a game for Storrs. 21 points, 10 rebounds. There's a block in there as well, a half hour's worth of work as Rollins picks up number 4. We'll see if St. Ray's uses that to their advantage.
I think Brandon Storrs could use that
Yeah.
to his advantage. This is his first point of the fourth quarter. Had 6 in that third quarter. He's got a game high 22. The second is good.
Nazareth has 2 timeouts if this press is a little too alarming for them.
2-point ball game. Rogers guarded by CHSAA. Here's Roman. Back to Rogers. There's a count on him. Great timeout by Gary Irvin. Tristan Rogers, I don't think, had any idea there was a count against him. CHSAA was in on him. Gary Irvin knew it, though. And as soon as that got a little bit too close, he calls the full timeout.
Well, and that's when it helps to have 2 timeouts there. And you could use it, draw up a play now. There's an 11-second differential between game and shot clock. St. Ray's does not have to foul. Defend here. And we'll see how they use Rollins, either as a decoy or going in to score himself. Nazareth has options, but want to see the play that they draw up. And then defensively for Rays, the press has been working. It's not the worst thing in the world. If you put them on the free throw line, they've missed 8 free throws, and I don't think anybody on that bench has made a free throw of this magnitude yet this season, so you really put the pressure on them. A couple of different ways he can go.
On that other sideline, Gary Irvin, when we spoke with him, said that his team was a little bit stagnant in the fourth quarter, and he also put a lot of that on his shoulders, saying that some substitutions he made at the end of the third quarter probably could have done it in the fourth, and it allowed Scanlon an opportunity to set up things defensively, which started their run and started Nazareth's struggles. But listen, they had a signature win. Their first in AA was against Cardinal Hayes, a team that was in the finals. Granted, a different looking team this year. That was in the finals for back-to-back years, and that was their first win of the regular season. And their first big playoff win came the other night, looking for their biggest win in a long time. They've got to close it out. Here's Rogers, nearly losing the dribble. Rollins with 4 fouls, spins, gets to the hoop. No good. Roman, no good. Storrs the rebound. Brandon Storrs to the hoop, too strong, but a foul is called.
Not sure if it's going to be on Storrs or on the follow with CHSAA.
It's on Witter. Let's see if we can see this again and see where 5. Check it out, John, where CHSAA is called for the foul.
The best players want the ball in their hands at the end of a game, and Brandon Storrs doing everything he can to keep this season alive.
First free throw, good. Brandon Storrs, 23 points to lead the Ravens. Whatever happens on this shot, Nazareth will have a chance to close this game out. Second, no good. Rebound to Turnage, his 11th of this game. Timeout, St. Ray's.
It's the littlest guy on the floor making the biggest play so far for St. Ray's. How about Ty Turnage? Take another look, right place, right time. Storrs knew it, little look of panic. And how about Turnage should know a timeout as well?
But also great job by Lopez, because that would have been a jump ball possession, Nazareth.
Right.
But listen, this is why Turnage is a leader on this team. Watch 4 come in on Rollins. Maybe a little bit of a push. He got away with it perhaps, but gets the rebound. And listen, this is a guy who could be sulking. He's 0 for 12 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. But now he and Brandon Storrs both have 11 rebounds in this game. You have to affect the game in some way, in a positive manner, and that's what Ty Turnage is doing with those kind of plays.
Yeah, making winning plays Right place, right time. This is what championship seasons are built on. And if the Ravens are going to win it all, they'll look back at that play by Ty Turnage.
Last lead for St. Ray's was with 1:27 left in the second quarter. That was 23-22. Their next lead might send them to the championship game on Sunday. Inbound underneath. It'll be Turnage to do so. 8.1 seconds remaining. Turnage up top. Stores lost it. And it's Nazareth ball. Stores saying he was tripped. George Lopez stunned as well, but no call. John.
Yeah, let's see what we have here. Stores going in on there. Looks like he was going down. I think you go both ways on that call.
And now Stores fouls Rollins, still upset over what he thought was a missed call.
Well, listen, it's tough to do in the moment now for Brandon Stores, but you have to find a way to relax yourself and get back in the game. Because if Naz, even if they make both of these free throws, St. Raymond's still with a chance to send this game to overtime.
So here comes Rollins to shoot 2. 4 of 7 from the foul line is Halon Rollins. He leads Nazareth with 15, now make it 16. And to your point, St. Ray's in this game, 2 of 14 from 3.
No timeouts remaining either. He missed on purpose.
Second free throw is good. So CHSAA or Stores will be the one to inbound. So who's going to take this shot for St. Ray's? 2.5 seconds left. Naz could also foul if they wanted. Stores, the inbound off of Turnage, and it's out of bounds. Nazareth will get the ball, and they're 1.4 seconds away. The inbound, the foul by White. The Ravens bench right now in stunned disbelief. And Witter to the line to shoot 2. And close out a monumental victory for the Kingsmen. First is no good. Second free throw for Witter. No good. Stores the heave. It's short, and Nazareth, in their first year in the AA, they are in Sunday's championship game. They beat St. Raymond's 58-55, and they've booked their spot back here, 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. What a moment for the Kingsmen. They've announced their arrival in the league with that victory against Cardinal Hayes. And then they survived and advanced out of the quarterfinals. And on this Wednesday early evening, they are in the AA championship game. What a moment for Nazareth. We're joined now on the court, John Perez, with the hero of the day, Halon Rollins.
Halon, it might be the AA, but Nazareth is going back to a final. How'd you guys get it done?
We just played hard. We just played together. Nobody believed in us, but we believed in ourselves. That's what matters.
For you, what was on your shoulders, and talk about the inspiration that you had coming into this game?
I had a lot of inspiration because I didn't have no. I had everybody. Nobody believed in us. Nobody believed in us. We wasn't supposed to be here at all. So we were the underdogs. So no pressure. No pressure.
What did you see out of your team down the stretch that allowed you to get the victory?
Yeah, it wasn't just me. It was Tristan, Jacob, JoJo, Eli. We all played hard. Everybody from the bench, we played good.
One more to go, Halon. I'll let you go celebrate. That's Halon Rollins. Dylan, we'll send it back up to you.
Thanks, John, and congratulations to Halon. What a game for him. 17 points and 8 rebounds to lead Nazareth to a 58-55 win. Time now for the military standard cleaning play of the game. If you're looking to get your cleaning concerns resolved, call Military Standard Cleaning. They clean with precision. And when the Ravens were trying to make their way back in this game, Nazareth had a big-time response, and it started with a defensive play. Off the block, and here comes Nazareth into your living room. Count it, and the foul. Jacob Roman. A big basket for the senior, that energy guy for the Kingsmen. And he essentially won it for Nazareth. Another look at your military standard cleaning play of the game. Hey, you got to clean it out on both ends. First defensively, and then at the rim, and the foul. Jesse Roman with the finish. So Nazareth, they have found their way in to Sunday's final. Who will they play? Will it be Stepanak? Will it be St. Francis Prep, as the all-league teams are being introduced here on the court? There's Osman Asaka. We'll see him in a little bit. But that'll do it here from the first game. It's Nazareth. The Kingsmen are in the final. They win this one 58-55 for our entire Varsity Media crew. Our executive producer, Ben Turchin. Technical director, Chris Sweeney. For Ron Pierre, Travis DeLuise, and Dan Acevedo. For my broadcast partner, John Perez, I'm Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us from Rose Hill Gymnasium. We look forward to seeing you at about 8 o'clock tonight for the second CHSAA AA semifinal.